Okay, we are here with Donna Heckler, who is one of the presenters here and is an author. Tell us about your book and your presentation.
So I wrote a book entitled Living Like a Lady When You Have Cancer, and that book came out just a few years ago, and it's chock full of tips and tricks for the cancer patient. So for the woman who's been diagnosed, it starts with this idea that you may lose your hair, and then all the things that happen in between, and then it ends with your hair will grow back. So tips and tricks for living through cancer.
Now, is this a book that came from experience?
Unfortunately, it did. I was diagnosed 8 years ago on Sunday, as a matter of fact. So it's been a while, and at the same time, once you've had cancer, it feels like it's just right behind you. It's just been a few days away. So it came from experience, and I kept track of all the various things that I was figuring out. And it seemed every 2 seconds I was saying, "Oh my gosh, it's so unladylike." So that's how we came up with the title.
So it's interesting, we have a lot of people talking about the struggle of cancer, the looking at the mortality, the looking at the crisis of faith, and you're taking a very different, looking at it in a very different way, but a way that I suspect a lot of women do about, and that people just don't talk about.
No, that's exactly it. In fact, my mantra to myself as I went through cancer was be radiant, and it was this idea that I could be radiant even if I didn't have any hair and didn't have any eyebrows and didn't have any eyelashes. And it was still all about who I was inside, and that's God-driven, and I could let that out. And so that's a lot of what the book is about.
Now, how long did it take you to become cancer-free? How long?
So at the 5-year mark, they said, you've got a really good, clean bill of health, so we think you're good. That doesn't mean that you don't consistently get checked. But my cancer had been stage 3. It was greater than a tennis ball, and it had popped up in 8 months. So it had been very aggressive. So it was good to hit that 5-year mark and know that we're okay now for a while.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you, since you mentioned hair, did you lose your hair, and how long did it take to come back?
Oh my God.
Because you have more hair than me. Of course, that's not a very high standard.
I lost all my hair, and I talk about in the book that when you lose your hair, you lose all your hair. I lost the hair on my arms, the hair on my legs, you name it. If it's hair, it was gone. The hair on my head came back, I'd say about 8 months after I finished all of my chemo treatments, 8 months to a year, and it came back curly and red, which is not how my hair usually is. So, and
not usually curly or not usually red?
It's not usually either of those. So, but that's typical that hair comes back after you've had cancer differently. And so mine definitely did, and finally we're back to normal Donna hair. But there's some hair that's never going back. I still don't have hair on my arms, it's never going back, and there's no hair on my legs. Well, there's 5 hairs on my leg.
Well, you're not gonna complain so much about those.
There's no complaining on that front, none whatsoever.
But and you seem to have kept an awful lot of good humor from all of this. Now, was this throughout it, or was this something you developed as things were looking better?
No, I had good humor, if I may say that, all the way through. Now, I had actually injured my leg, shattered my leg about 8 months before the cancer diagnosis, and I don't know that I found that quite as humorous. But one thing I did because of the shattered leg is I started naming my body parts. So I didn't want my nieces and nephews to be upset that Aunt Donna couldn't do anything. So I called my leg Floppy because it just flopped all over the place. And so Aunt Donna wants to do this, but Floppy can't. And that sort of started carrying through as I went through the cancer. And I realized that if I could find some humor in this situation, it made it easier for everybody else. And cancer is not something that impacts one person. It impacts an entire family. It impacts the caregivers. It impacts friends and loved ones. So,
and how important is humor in the book in terms of how you dealt with it?
So there's a section on your inner beauty and sort of who you are as a person, and within that section there is a little bit about humor and how I dealt with it. So I do put it in there, but also in the book, I kept a blog all through my cancer treatments, and in the book there are little segments from my blog, and you find my humor within there too. So it sort of permeates throughout, but in terms of specifically saying think about humor, I put it in a particular section. I will say that humor isn't right for everybody, right? If that's not who you are, then to try and be humorous may not be the right thing. But if you like to find fun in life, and that's how you approach things, then I think humor has a role.
Okay, and the title of the book once again, and where we can find it?
The title of the book is Living Like a Lady When You Have Cancer, and we can find it online. You can find it certainly at my website, which is DonnaAHeckler.com. So 2 A's, DonnaAHeckler.com. Amazon, and you can also find it at Catholic bookstores.
Hey, Donna Heckler, thank you so much for your time.